Okay, good evening, everyone. And trust we're all doing great today. Happy Sunday, everybody. My name is Shimizu Chukwemeka Xavier, like you all know, and I'm the head of education, Capital Extend Africa. So today we'll be doing weekly analysis, looking out for the pairs who we'll be keeping our eyes on in the coming week. But before we do that, I would like us to do a little review on the trades we took last week, gold and USD card. So this is gold charts on the daily time frame, but actually got our trade setup from the 4-hour time frame and the 1-hour time frame. Okay, so dropping down to the 1-hour time frame, we all know that price does two things. Price moves from internal range liquidity to external range liquidity, or from external range liquidity to internal range liquidity. So here in the 4-hour, in the 1-hour time frame, we have this external range liquidity here being taken out and price giving this fair value gap here. I know that this class, most of the terminologies I'm using, most of you will not understand the terminologies I'm using or be conversant with the terminologies I'm using is one of the reasons why you need to apply for our beginners class and also the advanced class. Please, if you're joining the call now, kindly mute if you're joining the call. Okay. One of the reasons why you need to join either our beginners class if you're entirely new to the Forex world or to the financial market world, join our beginners class, or if you've been trading for quite some time and you really need to sharpen your edge or have a stronger edge, you need to join our advanced classes for you to be able to understand these terminologies we are using. All right. So price taking out this external range liquidity here, coming back for this fair value gap, which is FVG or internal range liquidity. This is where we took our entry from on the 1-hour time frame to target this external range liquidity here. This is an easy 2R. If you had taken this gold using a standard lot size, this would have made you $1,800. Easy $1,800. All right. So let's quickly look at USD card before we move to what we have today. Okay, so this is USD card. I'll do a top-down analysis on how I was able to get this setup on USD card on Thursday. All right, starting from the weekly time frame. So two trades last week, the two trades hit profits. The two trades hit profits. So here on the weekly time frame on USD card, you can clearly see price taking off from internal range liquidity, right? We'll move down to the 4-hour time frame. Now here on the 4-hour time frame, this is how price clearly reacted from this weekly fair value gap. We have this expansion giving us this high, and you have a higher low and a higher high, right? So price presented two fair value gaps here. This happens to be the breakaway gap, and this is the main fair value gap we are looking for. For you to know more about breakaway gaps is in our courses, in our advanced courses. So now price dropping into this 4-hour fair value gap here. I dropped down to the 15 minutes. This USD card was actually taken live during the analysis came live during our London session analysis. During our London session analysis Thursday morning. Those of you that were in that session on Thursday morning, I know that you guys made money from this setup. All right. So now price dropping here. I have this low, this high, and price gave us a lower time frame liquidity grab and also a structure shift. Okay, coming back to our fair value gap, we took our entry easy 1:2. is 1 is to 2. If you're using the standard lot size, this would have easily given you $300 easily without stress. $300. Okay, if you're using a mini lot size of 0.10, is $30 for you on a Thursday. All right. So these are one of the reasons why you shouldn't be missing our sessions. One of the reasons why you shouldn't be missing our sessions, either the New York session or the London session analysis. You shouldn't be missing any of them. Okay, so let's now go over to the pairs I'm looking at for this week that I feel maybe it's, from what I'm seeing, the price is actually going to respect our technical analysis. All right, I have NZDCAD, I have NZDUSD, and I have AUDUSD. Okay, guys, I'm so sorry about that, my network. Okay, so I promise this session is not going to take much of our time. This is Sunday. Obviously, we have other things we are doing, but since we have other, we also need to make money as well. So looking at NZD card from the monthly time frame, and we use the higher time frame to get the clear context of where price is coming from and also where price is going to. So the higher time frame context I make use of is the monthly, the weekly, or the daily. So NZD card from the monthly time frame, we can clearly see that we have this low here. We have this low here, and also I have this external range liquidity here as well. Now, from the monthly time frame, I've seen that price is going to either take out this external range liquidity here and also come for this external range liquidity, which simply means that NZD card is bearish for me from the monthly time frame. So dropping down to the daily time frame, dropping down to the daily time frame, it's very, very clear here on the daily time frame. This is the external range liquidity. You're expecting price to come take out. I like my lines being straight. Okay, so I have this external range liquidity here, right? And price taking out this external range liquidity will definitely come back for the internal range liquidity, which is this daily fair value gap. All right. Remember, I always tell you guys that price does two things. Price does two things, from external back to internal, and from internal, price should come for this external. Right? Whenever price takes out external range liquidity, just know it's going to come for the internal range liquidity. And from the internal range liquidity, price is going to take out this external range liquidity. So this is basically how price moves from internal range liquidity to external range liquidity, or from external range liquidity to internal range liquidity. Kindly keep that at the back of your mind. So I have this daily fair value gap here, this daily fair value gap here, which is where I'm expecting price to come into this week on NZD card. And mind you, I don't like trading reversals. I prefer trading the real continuation of the trend. And looking at here, we don't need a magician or we don't need to use a telescope to see that the order flow here is bearish. The order flow here is bearish. So I prefer trading alongside the trend. That's why there is this adage that goes like this: the trend is your friend. Never trade against the trend. So that's the reason, sorry, that's the reason why I don't like trading reversals. Sorry, retracements. So this is what I'm expecting on NZD card, the continuation of the bearish movement whenever price comes into our daily fair value gap. Okay, NZD card, we are bearish on NZD card, waiting for price to come take out this external range liquidity here, and also this external range liquidity here as well. All right, so let's quickly take a look at NZDUSD. Remove all the drawings. NZDUSD from the monthly time frame. We have this external range liquidity here. We have this external range liquidity. So what is the next thing we have to do? The next thing we'll do is just go down to the daily time frame. And another thing you will learn when you start our advanced class, you got to learn about time frame understanding. Or let me put it this way, you get to learn about time frame alignments. These are not the things I can start explaining here. It's something that I'll have to take my time and explain everything for you in the class. All right, so we dropping down to the daily time frame. Let's see what we're going to get from the daily time frame. Okay, and last week we actually missed a trade on NZDUSD. Not that we missed a trade, we actually know that it's going to sell, but we are waiting for price to give us a clear confirmation for us to join the sales on NZDUSD and also AUDUSD. Last week we say that price is going to come into this internal range liquidity here, and check the date. This is 6th January, which is on Monday, 6th January. So yeah, price coming into this weekly fair value gap here. Coming into this weekly fair value gap. Right now, look at what happened when price tapped into that place and dropped. Although in 4 hours, we're actually waiting for a confirmation, but that confirmation never came. We won't have this liquidity grab here or turtle soup. I was actually waiting for price to return into this gap to join the sales, but that never happened. So going back to our analysis today, what can we see here on the daily time frame? What can we see here on the daily time frame? We have this external range liquidity here being taken out. This external range liquidity here being taken out. What's the next thing price needs to do? The next thing I'm expecting price to do is for price to come for this internal range liquidity. Price to come for this internal range liquidity and the continuation, to give us the continuation of the sell. Just like I said in NZD card, the order flow here, we are still bearish from the order flow here. We are still bearish. All right. So NZD card, NZD USD, I'm bearish on these pairs. I'm bearish on these pairs. And the next pair I'll be looking at right now is AUD USD. Remove all the drawings. So just like I explained on NZD USD, the same thing happened here on AUDUSD, price coming for this internal range liquidity here, but never gave us a confirmation for us to join this sell. Price never gave us a confirmation for that. Although I would have entered at the total soup, but that would be me going against my trading plan, and that would be very indisciplined of me. All right, that's the reason why I decided to stay out. So price taking out this external range here, what do you think price should do next? Come for the internal range liquidity. For internal range liquidity. Okay. Although looking at this entire structure here, is a breaker block, right? Is a breaker block. Is a breaker block. So price coming inside this fair value gap, or price might actually want to tap the open of this breaker block. But nevertheless, we'll have to see how this plays out in the coming week. We are not rushing anything. We just have to be a sniper, wait patiently for price to give us what we want before we execute. For price to give us what we want before we execute. All right. So this is what I'm expecting on AUDUSD. And if you have been following my analysis, you know that I'm not the type of trader that trades every day, like trade Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. No, there are some things I would like to see. Please, if you're just joining the call now, kindly mute. Okay. Okay. You notice that I'm not the type of trader that trades Monday, Tuesday. No, it's because there are something I need to see before I go into any trade. So I'll just have to wait for price to give me that thing that I want to see before I take any action. All right. In this industry, you have to be disciplined, and your patient game needs to be top notch. Your patient game needs to be top notch. All right. You don't use because you have a few thousands in your account or a few hundreds in your account and you're seeing an impulsive movement, you jump into the trade. It doesn't really make sense. That way you'll be losing a whole lot of money. The market makers take the money of an impatient trader and pay the patient trader. All right. So this three pairs is what I have in mind going into this week. But that doesn't mean that as the week goes on, I'll be looking at the pairs, looking for a favorable or a nice pair that is giving us something very, very sweet and juicy to trade. Once I have that during the London session, I'll talk about it, or during the New York section, I'll talk about this. But for now, NZDCAD, NZDUSD, and AUDUSD are the three pairs I have going into this trading week. Are the three pairs I have in mind going into this new trading week. All right. So if you have any question, kindly ask your question before I continue. Okay, while we are waiting for questions, the USD card trade I2 was actually posted in the Traderton group. If you're not yet in that Traderton group, please kindly contact your account manager. Kindly contact your account manager to get started. And also, our physical classes, virtual classes have started. for you to be able to have a proper understanding of whatever I'm saying right here, you need to be in that class. Beginners classes are on Fridays, by 9:30 to 12, while advanced classes is on Wednesdays by 9:30 to 12. Virtual classes 8 p.m. same day 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. All right. Kindly contact your account manager for the necessary requirements for you to be able to partake in these life-changing opportunities. All right. Please kindly go on with your questions. I'm waiting. If you don't feel like you can talk, you can use the chat box and type in your questions. Like I promised earlier, I said this session won't take much of our time. Today is Sunday. We all have things that we are doing, so I won't take much of your time. Okay, so let's have your questions, please. Okay, since there is no
Sir,
question. Okay,
sorry, good evening, sir.
yeah, good evening.
Yes, sir.
Hi, yes.
Sorry, I actually came late. This gold, can you give us a quick recap on it again? Let me understand some things
On which one?
on this gold.
I didn't analyze good. No, I didn't analyze good. I'm not looking at good now. I just did a little
Oh,
recap on how we got our trade setup last week.
okay.
Yeah.
I understand. All right.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
You're
But
welcome.
can you check BTC?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, here is BTC on the weekly time frame. I'm still expecting BTC to come into my weekly fair value gap and is yet to do that. So whenever price gets into this weekly fair value gap, I'll start looking for buying um, opportunities. But for now, nothing for me on BTC. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you, sir.
Okay, so
Uh,
not for now,
what?
nothing for me on BTC.
Okay. So what I was actually checking on the daily, I thought I saw it forming something like a head and shoulder, something like that. So I was thinking maybe it's going to break down to this weekly fair value gap. Then it will not give us a retest. Then we'll look for a sell opportunity. That's what I was actually calculating. So I don't know.
Okay, okay. If that's what your analysis is telling you, then you have to go with your analysis, all right? It's always an open bias, but I'll give you reasons why I'm hoping for price to come for this weekly fair value gap before I take my buying positions. Now,
Oh,
the higher the time frame, the stronger the zone, right? If there is a
sure.
fair value gap on the daily and there is a fair value gap on the weekly, which one do you think price will react to?
Of course, the weekly.
The weekly, because the weekly is higher than the daily. So that's the reason why I'm holding this level. I'm waiting for this level for price to just come into this level and I start looking for entry positions. If price comes to this place and gives us otherwise, we'll always allow price to lead and we'll follow.
Okay. So that means the probability of this threat going to that extreme order block up there on the daily, it has to come back to that weekly fair value gap before it can now
Yes.
probably reach that point.
Now this is what I'm expecting this to do. Drop from here and go up. Probably 112,000 of 112,000, 115,000 or so.
Okay.
This is what I'm
Wow.
expecting BTC to do.
Wow. Thank you very much, sir. Really
You're
appreciate it.
welcome. You're welcome,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
All right, do we have any other question?
Hello,
Okay,
sir.
guys.
Good evening.
All right, good evening.
So I wanted to ask because I've been following for months now. You normally analyze using ICT. Yes.
Yes.
But I want to ask now if price have now gotten to the internal range liquidity, can we also use as SMC trader to get entry?
Okay, there is a mistake people always make. Don't jump from one strategy to another. It's not helpful. Okay, it's not helpful. Rather, the only thing you need to be looking for is ways to improve that your very strategy you're using. Every strategy works, right? You just have to, find what works for you and stick to it. So I'm using ICT because I feel ICT it works for me. You using SMC works for you. So if you're using SMC, use SMC all through until you get your entry.
Okay.
Yeah, and
All right. Thank
SMC,
you.
you use more of other blocks, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So I hardly use other block.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, sir. So do we have any other question? Do you have any other question? Okay.
Good evening, boss. Hello?
Yeah, good
Hello?
evening.
Hello? Good evening.
Good
Okay.
evening.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Go on.
Yeah, good evening, sir. How's work?
I thank God. How are you doing today?
Good. I'm fine. Sorry, I'm just new to capital extent.
You're really, really welcome to the
Are you
family.
there?
You're welcome.
Thank you. I have minor family attached to me, so I'll be bringing them to capital extent too. But
Wow.
one thing I want to ask,
Yeah,
you see, it's like you are using trading view right now to view the chart, right?
yes.
I try as much as possible to see whether I can connect trading view to capital Excel because I prefer using trading view than MT5.
If I using TradingView to trade or to analyze.
No, to trade, not to analyze.
Okay. All right. Okay. This is
So is it
what is
possible for me to do that?
this is what is going to happen. Kindly send me a message on WhatsApp.
Okay.
Yeah, after
And
after
I
this
don't have.
session.
Okay. I cannot even identify your this thing on WhatsApp.
Don't worry, I'll write on WhatsApp when we are done with this session.
All right. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Yes.
You're welcome. So, do we have any other question, please?